Hello there, guys. Today I'm going to be introducing you to a game that's currently in beta called Metacell, which describes itself as a 2D Twitch puzzle shooter. It's also on Kickstarter and on Steam Greenlight. You've probably seen similar things before. You shoot bubbles into the game. If 3 or more of the same color match, they disappear. The bubbles add up both by you shooting them and them adding up by themselves. And when they build up and hit the edge of the game, in this case the edge of the cell, you lose. Or at least I believe in this case you'll lose a life, which you'll have 3 of as a default. Personally, I remember playing a lot of Flash games like this, and well, they were alright. They were okay, and that's about the extent of it. But I'm sure there are some other more quality games like this that you could make a good comparison to, although I have to admit I have not played a single one of them. Anyway, Metacell has 2 modes. It has a basic arcade mode and a story mode. The story kind of explains the gameplay. You are in a crude ship trying to defeat this so-called Metacell. The point of the Metacell, from what I understand, is that it will evolve to defend itself. What this actually means is that it will add some new gameplay mechanics of different kinds. These include different kinds of weapons that are being sent to your ship. For example, just energy missiles, beams, tentacles that will pop out, a wide variety of things that changes and increases the more you get into the game. There's also various power-ups usually given to you for getting good combinations or getting a combination of cells that will directly hit the center of the Metacell, and these power-ups will help you in various ways. They'll change up your cells to do special things, and they'll also occasionally give you bombs that you can shoot when you're in a tricky situation. It's all quite interesting in a few different ways. Now, going into this thing, I didn't really think that I would enjoy it too much. I mean, the description goes puzzle, something I don't like at all, and then Twitch shooter, another thing that makes me think I'm gonna be terrible at this. And then, just looking at the gameplay itself, I didn't think it'd be too interesting, but in the end, I've enjoyed playing what I have played of it. The start isn't too stressful. You just pop some bubbles in a kind of relaxing way, and then things start to get shot at you, and it gets a little more exciting. I started really digging the music too, and I was having some fun. The various things that can happen to you led to some interesting, varied gameplay, which I do enjoy, especially considering that it's a beta product right now, and I can't stress that enough. Nothing you see in this video, obviously, will be fully representative of the final product, but for what it is, I quite liked it. There's some things I saw here and there that might have been kind of unfair. The tentacle can kind of just pop out at you, but you do get a slight warning sometimes when you are looking at the center of the cell and an eye will pop out. That usually means that it's going to attack you some way. That eye and the rest of the kind of silly art style, it's appealing to me, and I'm sure it won't be to some people, but that is the way everything has worked ever. Now, it's quite possible it could end up being a little boring in the end, but the concept of the cell that you fight constantly improving itself is an interesting concept, to be sure. It is beta, and if they manage to do a Kickstarter, and if they manage to improve on it quite a bit, and find new ways to use that concept, you know, more ways to die, more power-ups, etc., and then tighten up the controls just a little bit, well, then the game could end up being really, really fun. And I really hope that happens. Now, as I mentioned, the game is doing a Kickstarter campaign. The devs of this are trying to raise $35,000 to make this a reality, and $10 of that will get you a copy of the complete game once it comes out. It's also trying to get on Steam through the Greenlight process, and I'll link to that below as well. You can go vote for that as long as you have a Steam account, and I really suggest you do if you like the look of this game, or if you try it and like it, because that is an option. I will link to that as well. And that is about all. This has been a look at Metacell, an interesting enough take on a concept that has some real potential. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Maple Dungeons, and I will see you next time.